to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for the privilege of being here tonight. We pray that we would make decisions that would honor you. Lord, we want to lift up our teachers, our administrators. Lord, we just pray for them in a special way that they would be blessed in the positions that they hold and the children that they teach and the lives that they change. We pray that you be with them in a mighty way. Dear Lord, we pray that you would be with us as we make decisions tonight. We pray that you would bless them, that they would honor you always. It's in your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
All right, Desiree, roll call. Okay. All right, so we're moving to open forum, but we do have.
Hey, it's time for open forum. Ms. Baker, I think you're on the, it's Ms. Reagan. I'm gonna help with Ms. Baker.
Hey, I wanted to invite the Unified Bulldogs here tonight. When I approached them last weekend to speak to y'all, I told them that, the reason for them even being an organization and a group is because y'all saw a need for this and the benefit of it, and it has just changed the culture of Wylie High School and improved it so much. And under the leadership of Miss Baker and Coach Collier, they have done some really wonderful things, and so I'm excited for them to share that with y'all tonight.
You want them to come around now?
Yep.
Well, just whoever, if somebody gonna speak, that's fine. And then when we're through with our speakers, we'll just kind of get a picture.
So I'm Judy Baker, and I wasn't really prepared to speak tonight. We've got somebody else who can do this, but I just want to first thank the board for allowing this program to be a part of our curriculum at Wylie, because when we came to y'all 3 years ago, I could see the excitement on your faces, and I don't know if you've kind of followed us, but we've done some amazing things. Just in the school, it's just made a difference in the inclusivity of the kids. Nobody really knew what Unified Bulldogs was 3 years ago. And then, we had about 16 kids, and now we're up to 38 kids that are involved. And so other kids on campus are like, oh, the Unified Bulldogs. And it's just really cool to see that our athletes walk up and down the hall, and other kids that are not a part of Unified know them by name now because they're singing. And that's a really big deal. It gives them opportunities that they wouldn't normally have. And that just makes me proud as a mom, but also as a teacher. So thank y'all for that. Miss Berry wanted us to come and kind of brag on ourselves, I guess, a little bit. When we started this, they started 2 years ago presenting Texas banners, Special Olympics Texas, to groups across the state that go above and beyond and meet certain criteria. And so last year we were actually presented with a Texas banner. And then at the end of last year, I applied for a national banner, and you have to meet 10 criteria of meeting huge standards that they set. And they felt like we did that. And so they presented us this year with a national banner. And that's a pretty big deal. I think gosh, I can't think how many are in Texas. I want to say there's maybe 5 schools in Texas that got a national banner. So that's a pretty big deal. And it's all because of these guys right here. And they've done a great job. These kids are amazing. And they just make me happy every day. It's the best part of my day. So
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's all I have.
Did anybody else was there anybody else? If not, okay, come on up. I see a half step. Come
So
on.
it's the OGs, they were the ones, the first year I had to just go find people to do this with me. And I had a teacher mention this guy right here, Devin Collin. And I went and grabbed him and said, hey, you want to do this? And he was like, sure. And so he and Jackson just became a fit together. And so I kind of let him talk about that.
Jake. All right, hey everybody, I'm Devin Collum. I'm a senior at Wylie High School. This is my 3rd year being on the Unified Bulldogs program. Like she said, freshman year I had no clue what Unified Bulldogs was. It wasn't really big yet. And my teacher was like, hey, we think you would be great for this. And I was like, ooh, I love this idea. And Ms. Baker pulled me and she goes, hey, I think you'd be great for this. I was like, ooh, I love this idea. And it was great. Unified out of my words, how great it has been for everybody. And like she said, I would love to thank the Lord, but also I just love to thank y'all for giving us this great opportunity to be able to not just change ourselves, not just change the school, but to change lives. It really is great what we are able to do. So many opportunities that we get. We get to go down to Austin and speak to a huge leadership conference, student led, and it's great. All these different schools. And then last year, we also got to go back to Austin and we went to the Capitol and we got to speak to the Senate and the legislature and the representatives, and it was amazing. We got to go to all these places that we would never in our lives get to do. Unified, we get to compete in all these different sports. We got to be in a pep rally, and holy cow, that was so awesome. We got to do all these great dances. It was awesome to see the looks on everybody's faces. Not a single frown in the crowd, not a single frown out on the floor whenever we were doing our dances. It was just straight smiles. And it's, like I said, just not an opportunity that we would ever really get. And it's just blessings from y'all, blessing from the Lord that we get to open up this, changing many lives. Like I said, I don't really want to repeat myself, sorry. And also, I just want to give a huge thanks to Ms. Baker, Coach Collier, and everybody that we have in Unified. We wouldn't be able to do it without anyone, any of y'all, any of the teachers, nothing.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Awesome.
So you can.
Yeah, everybody, all of y'all.
We need the tall one holding that man. So Sway. Come on, Ted, I think you keep coming, I think you're gonna be.
Do you want him in the?
Well, we got two.
Oh, two,
If
okay.
you want, maybe, yeah, put them on, look in them, okay.
All right. Realize.
Yeah, well, let's see how far we gotta go. Try to. Mike's got the camera. Keep coming, guys. Sway, keep coming behind. See if you can. There you go, we're gonna make it.
This is way cool.
Can you get everyone?
Yeah. Yeah, put her in between, yeah.
There we go.
Is that everybody? You got it, Mike?
Yeah, I'm getting it right now. All right, 1, 2, 3. All right, that's good, guys. Awesome.
That's all.
Thank you, guys. Oh, yeah. Paparazzi.
Can y'all see Bryson?
I got KC. Yeah. There you go, yeah.
Is there a big event tomorrow? Is there a bocce event?
No, we don't have, our next competition is basketball.
Okay.
And that's not till March.
Black Friday.
Okay. Okay, thank y'all, appreciate you.
Good job, guys.
And y'all don't have to stay for the whole board meeting unless you just want. We got an audit coming up, it's pretty. Hell, binding.
All right, we don't have,
I think that's all, Mr. Bacon, I think that's everything. Yes.
okay. We're gonna move on to approving the minutes. Everybody got a chance to look at them? Yes? Yes. Or do they need something else?
Oh, no.
Okay.
Pretty proud, that's.
That's awesome. Way cool.
Okay, we're gonna approve those as is. Everybody's looked at them. Then finish that so that you can.
I'd say go for it.
Yeah.
Send
Okay,
it. Send it,
next thing,
Catherine.
yes.
You can do
If you're
it.
good talking, they're fine with us. It doesn't bother us.
We don't cancel this. Okay. Starting with our check register for November, again, Ms. Newer, this is everything as of November, current. Just to point out, a few items that are outside of our normal bond, expenditures and outside of the norm.
City of Abilene, 109,000 there. That did include, of course, our normal utilities, but then also the contract we have with APD for our annual payment for that, position. And then did have to get our food permits that we get for all of our cafeterias, concession stands, et cetera. And at East Intermediate, they had a plan review, for some construction there, so that's all included in that. Next one I wanted to point out was 3 times a year, we have drum blasts come through, and I know you're all familiar with that. We had our first one, so that's a little over 21,000, that was paid out in November. And then IS Corp, that is our student and finance, software that we use for all the student information side, and then our finance and business side, everything, that's the annual payments. And then we had our November payroll, that was a little over 3.5 million, so it's on average, the average of what we've been doing, paying for this school year so far. And then the last, outside of the norm, our Visual Edge purchase, we have been slowly switching from our leased Xerox as those have run out, replacing with Epson copiers, but we've been able to purchase those outright. So this last one included 10 of those. So we just got our, the admin, and they're working great, get the job done, so.
And that just, buying them outright, there's a return on investment of about 2.5 years on that, so it's a really, I think that's a positive deal. If you've got the money to do it, rather than doing it on a lease plan, plus the machines are ours, so.
Any questions? On to bond statement of activity. This is the activity for November. Prior to November, we had about a little over 138 million. And then during November, our expenditures were 3.4 million for the month, leaving us a little under 135 million left our bond expenses. Onto our cash balance. This is our cash balance as of October 31st. Overall cash, 22.3 million. Now, that does include our debt service, so we take that out. That's 19.5 million that we have left. Our investments, we are seeing that interest rate continue to decrease. You know, September, we're set at 4.25, October, 4.14. And I was looking at November, it was 3.97. So, but just a reminder, you know, with those bonds, or where we have our funds from the bond and the investments, we are offsetting that rebatable arbitrage with that now that we're below the interest rate. So not the worst thing on that side of it, so. And then over to our revenue, as of October 31st, we were up 7% compared to where we were last year, so that's always a positive. Everything looks to be in line where we're supposed to be at. And just a reminder, October, we still receive state funds. November, we'll receive state funds, and then we rely on our tax revenue until April when the state comes back in payments. Expenses as of October 31st, we were down 1% from where we were last year. So another good place to be there. And just a comment to that is I do feel like, you know, I think we've said it over and over. I think principals heard it and they probably passed down. I do feel like there's some consciousness about dollars spent. You know, of course, we want to get everything we need to get for our people and our kids and all the things, but I do feel, and I can hear it in questions I get and things, consciousness of it. So I think with the rising prices of everything, to be down 1% where we were last year is a good place. So any other questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You'll have to go through the next time.
Yeah, that's right.
I'll make a motion, we pay the bills.
Second.
All in favor? Okay.
Thank you.
Next, our conduct public hearing on our first financial accountability.
So every year, you know, as we are rated, this first financial accountability rating system. This year, we received a score of 90, giving us a passing rating. So exciting. There's a deep breath I got to take finally. So, course, we continue to move and strive in that direction. And this is, just as a reminder, this is based off of the 23-24 financials that this grading is. Questions between this grading?
Now we're just gonna have,
Public
anybody
hearing.
having any questions or feedback? Okay,
Nothing heard.
You know, Captain.
thank you. All right. Now we move on to audit reports.
Yes, ma'am. Each year, we're required to have an audit presented. We have Bailey and Jeremy Stevens here to do that for us. And so we'll just get right to the meat of the issue.
Thank you very much. Good evening, members of the board. I'm Jeremy Stevens with Bailey. Our firm has completed the audit of financial statements of the district as of for the year ended August 31st, 2025. I left a copy of those at your seats. It's a big bound 100+ page document. I'll briefly touch on some of the financial highlights in here, but before I do, I just want to say that I think the audit went very well this year. Did not have any adjusted journal entries as a result of audit procedures. Did not have any unadjusted misstatements, not reporting any material weaknesses or significant deficiencies in internal controls. So overall, just good, clean audit here. So I did want to mention that real quick. With that, I'll get into the bound copy of the financial statements. I'll start with the independent auditor's report. Starts on page number 2, goes on through page number 5. First of all, top of page number 2 does state our opinion, which states that in our opinion, the financial statements present fairly in all material respects the financial position of the district. So this is what's known as an unmodified or a clean opinion on financial statements. It then goes on to describe our basis for our opinion, which is that we conducted our audit in accordance with generally accepted auditing standards, and that we believe that audit evidence we have obtained is sufficient and appropriate to provide a basis for our opinion. Moving on over to page number 3, there at the top, it describes management's responsibility for financial statements, which management is responsible for the preparation and the fair presentation of financial statements in accordance with generally accepted accounting principles. Additionally, management is responsible for the design and implementation of internal controls. And lastly, at the bottom of page 3, it describes the auditor's responsibilities for the audit of the financial statements, which our objectives are to obtain reasonable assurance that the financial statements are free from material misstatement, so that we can express an opinion that those financial statements are presented in accordance with GAAP. And there's some additional narrative in there regarding our approach to internal controls. Basically states that we gain an understanding of the district's internal controls, so we design our audit procedures. However, we do not test them to an extent that allows us to express an opinion on the effectiveness of internal controls. So we're not expressing an opinion on the effectiveness of internal controls. Our opinion is on the financial statements and whether they're in accordance with GAAP. Moving ahead to some of the basic financial statements themselves, I'll start on page number 15 with statement of debt position. This statement provides a snapshot of all assets and liabilities of the district at a consolidated level at August 31st, 2025. There at the top, you'll see assets and deferred outflows of resources. Those two line items, when you add them up together, comes out to about $328 million, which is basically total assets of the district. If you were to compare that to last year, it's up about $15 million year over year. If you look at individual asset categories, kind of see what's driving that increase, your capital assets have increased. Got a lot of construction projects going on right now, as you're aware, so you're spending funds. As those costs are capitalized, it drives up the costs of your capital assets. So capital assets are up about $30 million year over year. And then that's being offset by a reduction in your cash and investments, which are total about $172 million, so it's down about $15 million. Again, you're spending funds on construction projects, so cash is down, fixed assets are up. As far as liabilities and deferred inflows, about $264 million at year end, pretty comparable to last year. So if you add up your assets less your liabilities, there at the bottom of the page, you get your total net position, which is the amount of the assets exceeded liabilities at year end. It's about $63 million this year, which is an increase of about $17 million over last year. Second statement I'll touch on is the balance sheet of governmental funds, which is on pages 17 and 18. Again, this statement provides a snapshot of assets and liabilities of the district. but it's presented on what's known as the modified accrual basis of accounting. So it does not include any long-term assets, so capital assets, fixed assets are not on the balance sheet here. It also does not include any long-term liabilities. So your bonds payable, net pension liability, net other post-employment benefits, none of that is on here. This statement is focused on current assets, current liabilities. You'll see individual presentation for some of the funds of the district, general fund, debt service, capital projects. I'll speak to the total column, which is on the far right hand column of page number 18. We'll see under this basis of accounting total assets, about 178.5 million this year. In comparison to last year, that's down about 15 million. Again, that reduction primarily in the cash and investments, those two line items, about 172 million this year, down about 15 million. Primarily, it's a reduction of cash in the capital projects. And then for liabilities of the district, right at 10 million at year end. So if you add up your assets less your liabilities, for this particular statement, you'll get your total fund balance at year end, about 168.4 million this year. In comparison to last year, it's down about 16 million. If you look at the fund balances, you'll see there's different categories: restricted, permitted, unassigned. The largest category is not restricted for capital acquisitions. That's basically the remaining amount of bond funds for your future projects that you have going on. That's where the bulk of the reduction is at. It's down about 27 million, down to about 148 million at fiscal year end. And then your unassigned fund balance is probably the most important part of this particular statement for you. It's the amount that's available to the district to kind of fund future operating activities. It's up about 9 million in comparison to last year, so it's up to about 15.3 million. District's done a great job of increasing its fund balance this year. TEA recommends that you keep about a 3 times your average monthly general fund expenditures in that unassigned fund balance. This year, based off of the 2025 expenditures, that 15.3 million is at about 3.7 times that average monthly general fund expenditures. So you've moved up above what TEA recommends to keep in there as a measure. So,
Yeah,
so good job. Good job.
good job.
Last statement that I will touch on is the statement of revenues, expenses, and changes in fund balance, which is on pages 20 and 21. Again, I'll speak to the total column, the far right hand column there. This is basically the income statement of the district. You'll see total revenues at the top there. It's about 86.5 million this year. In comparison to last year, that's up about 20 million. There's three major revenue categories: local, state, and federal revenues. Local revenues, largest source, it's about 15.6 million. That's where the bulk of the increase at. That's up about 20 million in comparison to last year. Main things kind of driving that increase. Number one, debt service tax rate increased. So property taxes collected for debt service increased in the 2025 fiscal year. And then also there was some insurance collections that were received this year, which TEA reporting guidelines says that should go into the local revenue category. So those are really kind of the two items that kind of drove that increase in the local revenues. And then as far as expenditures of the district, you'll see it's about 102.9 million this year. It's up about 21 million from previous fiscal year. Largely that increase is in that capital outlay for the facilities acquisition. You'll see it at the kind of at the bottom of the page there. It's about 33 million this year. In comparison to last year, that's up about 23. So that's the bulk of the increase in the expenditure was in those acquisitions, primarily from the bond funds that are being spent down. So if you add up your revenues less your expenses, you get your total change in fund balance. That reduction of about 16.2 million. But again, remind you that's primarily just coming out of your capital funds. Okay. That was everything I planned to comment on basic financial statements. There's two other reports at the very that I'll flip to real quick. First is on page number 75. It's our report on internal control, financial reporting, and on compliance. Again, this report reiterates that we're not expressing an opinion on the effectiveness of internal controls. However, if we reported any material weaknesses or significant deficiencies, or if we reported any instances of non-compliance, it's to report that those will be reported in. Again, happy to report no such items this year. And the last report is on page number 77. That's our report on compliance, each major federal program in accordance with uniform guidance. This is our report on our federal single audits. District receives enough funding from the federal government each year that's required to have what's called a single audit. It's basically a compliance audit that the federal government requires you to get each year. We select major programs of the district each year based off of their criteria that the federal government puts out. This year, we tested the special education cluster in Title I Part A programs as our major federal programs. Our opinion on those programs is found at the top of page number 77. Basically states that in our opinion, the district complied in all material respects with the compliance requirements under those programs. So again, this is a unmodified or clean opinion on compliance for those major federal programs as well. And that is what I had prepared. I'm trying to go through a quick speech. I know we're getting busy. But I did leave you the full copy, so if you have trouble sleeping tonight, just. Good
job, Ed.
Thank you. Thank you.
Questions?
I think we're good. Thank you.
Jeremy, thanks for coming. Jeremy's one of the big bosses, you know, we had, a guy that I've really liked, his name's Joey. He's been, he's been doing it, and I think we're gonna lose him, right? He's not gonna be back next year.
He pursued a different opportunity. So he's
Yes,
no longer with the firm.
that's right. Not get in trouble because his name is Joey. Just make sure that's understood. Anyway, Jeremy, y'all are always a pleasure to work with.
Yes.
We appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank y'all so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. All right.
That's a
Yeah.
big, that's.
Yes.
That's
Yeah,
huge.
it is.
Huge.
Very much.
So.
Is that a motion?
I'll make a motion, we approve the 24-25 audit as presented.
A second. All in favor? Okay. Considering resolution for our adjunct faculty.
Yes, each year, we have a resolution to, grant adjunct faculty status for Taylor County Extension staff. We haven't had any other groups, ask for that this year, but still may be coming. The folks, then that's really for the 4-H program, since it's community-based program versus FFA. So the people they're talking about, Steve Estes, Kim Miles, and Maggie McBride, they've got information on each one of those on page 26, but they're county extension agents, and the resolution is, again, so our kiddos can attend some of these events and still be counted present. So we'd recommend that you approve those.
Make a motion to grant adjunct faculty status for Taylor County Extension staff.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Our roofing project.
Okay, just as a reminder, we had the bids for Wylie High School Annex and Van Hall and East Intermediate School, and we pulled those because we've gone to a different roofing system. So they did the plans for those, and then we put those out to bid. Again, Nathan is here from Gallagher. He's the guy that really crunches all the numbers and then makes sure that the folks understand their scope of work. That's a big part of what Nathan does. Nathan, I just open the floor to you and any comments you have.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you again. Here we go.
Roofing.
It's getting better. These are all new projects, by the way, so.
Yes, for clear schools.
Yeah.
In your packet, there should be a 3-page, recommendation letter from Gallagher,
Starts at page 29.
where we're recommending that you increase your expenditures by 2.8 million and equally increasing your capital assets by that much. And maybe adding on to your fund savings of $1.2 million. It was kind of cut back. Anyway, in that spreadsheet, I'm just gonna go ahead and just skip through the spreadsheet. You're familiar at this point, I imagine, with the front two pages and how we qualify these contractors. So in the last page in the spreadsheet, you'll see that there's three bars reports, and the first one being representing the high school, the second representing the East Intermediate School, and then it's kind of a combination on the last table. What we did is we requested the contractors bid on the school separately, and then requested for a combination price, should they get both schools, if there's any savings they can offer. So unless there's any questions on the first two tables, I'm gonna cut right through the bottom one. So in the combination offers, we're making a recommendation to award to Lydic, I think it's how it's pronounced, Lydic Hooks Roofing. They have provided a complete scope for the combination of $1.6 million between the two schools. And what I've included in that is the budget that we had from the prior approvals. We have approved line items for the roofing in both the high school and the intermediate, and that amount totals to $2.8 million, or to be exact, $2,869,956. So there is a savings of 1.205,150 with that effort. Now, there are three that proposed the combination. We did have more contractors on the East Intermediate School, but did not offer anything as a combination price. So in terms of best value, this is a recommendation and ask for you. Any questions?
And so I might just say, you know, a lot of what they do when they, I think it's important to know the budget for both schools down at bottom table is 2.8 million. You know, they're going off of what they see in the market, and they're making estimates on square footage and so forth. So that's a pretty dramatic savings off of what we had in the budget. So again, the total cost for those projects is gonna be 1.6 million. So good. You know, the hope there is that when they combine these projects, they see some benefits to that large of a project, and so far it seems like we've benefited from that.
We call it scale economy. If you got more to offer than if could offer better price.
Yeah. Okay. Any questions for next? Thank you, sir. Appreciate you coming tonight.
I'll make a motion, we approve Lydic Hooks in an amount of $1,664,804, consisting of $1,175,259 for the high school annex and band hall, and $489,545,000 for the East Intermediate Edition roofing project.
All in favor? Okay. Ordering buses.
Yeah, so we're continuing to add to our fleet. Of course, this is an ongoing effort to modernize and be able to move some of the older buses from operation, along with absorbing some growth in our numbers. What we're recommending is that we add 3 71 passenger buses. These will be gas buses, Bluebirds. The amazing thing is they're coming in at $167,401 now. That cost continues to escalate. I'm gonna say over 5 years, it's been pretty dramatic how much that's a yellow school bus. And so, when you get those, that's, that total price for those three is $503,005, for those 3 71 passenger buses. And the other bus that we're gonna recommend, we have, what we call smaller capacity buses. They tend to be 22 passenger, but we also have needs for wheelchair lifts in some buses. And that is something we don't have a lot of, so we are gonna recommend that we order one 22 plus 3 wheelchair buses. And that bus, amazingly, of course, the cost of the wheelchair lift is in there, $149,637. But that will help us, in the past, because those smaller buses, for that purpose, never go very far. They're within the district. So we've been able to keep up with those by buying slightly used vehicles, but they're just not out there right now, so felt like we needed to add another one of those. So the total cost for the 4 buses would be $652,642.32, and that also includes a $800 fee for the buy board fee, which is standard, so.
What does that leave? Does it
The
have?
big one.
Yeah, what does that leave us as far as
Totals.
how much we have remaining for transportation?
Oh, okay. So here's one thing I will say, the 2 blocks of money was for technology and then everything else.
Oh,
So the really, you know, if you spend more in construction, you have less to spend on buses. Right now, every project we have bid, we have saved money off the original. That's right. So we're in a really good place, and you know, we're not tied to just buying the number of buses that the proposal was for. Actually, you know, buses have been more expensive. Construction's been less expensive, so.
Stay within that budget.
Exactly. So we will continue to plan out these expenses, and you know, there's gonna be some other projects that we'll talk about in the future as far as other things to improve our campuses that we'll talk about. So we're in a really good place right now, I think. So excited about that.
Yeah, definitely.
So as we buy buses and retire old buses, do we get anything for those old buses when we retire?
Well, so let me just say, that's interesting you asked that. I had a conversation with the Abilene ISD transportation guy, and he said they get about $1,000 a bus.
Wow.
Good, no.
And those are running buses. Don't just say those are just.
I'll give you 2,000.
Turn it into an old.
Yeah, I do.
I mean,
I speak for him. I've got
I'm
a.
kidding, exactly right.
I might move into it, so I mean, actually,
I've seen some really cool.
it's really almost unbelievable what it's, what we get back.
Like think
Private
about
soul.
guys for deer camp or something, or
Yeah.
just an RV. I mean, basically, they're making an RV
Yeah.
Yeah,
and auction it off.
actually, we haven't even talked about that, so I think that's interesting. I may
Kind of a cool.
run that
project
back.
for-
I bet you somebody's got a YouTube on how to do it.
Oh, give me 10 seconds. We're probably not related to them.
No diets.
If there's anything wrong with that, but
No, not at all.
so.
Well, I'll make a motion to the board approve the purchase of 4 school buses.
A second.
Okay, all in favor?
Ah,
All right. Moving on. Principal's reports.
Rob's is ready to go. He's got a concert. He's like.
Thought he would. Couldn't see her.
Well, hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hey, our student count, it's the same exact number that it was 2 months ago, and we've had kids come and go in all 3 grades. And the 3 grades as of today are exactly what they were when I stood in front of you all 2 months ago, which I thought was, it's time to show them that. Hey, currently we, started today our middle of the year testing in all of our core or STAR tested subjects. To give the teachers kind of a, hey, where is everyone right now? That started today. We'll finish that up at the end of the course. Semester 1 is about over. We've about got half the year in the bag. Our T-test evaluations, we're about 80% complete with those. true confessions, I've never been close to 80% finished by December. I'm usually at about 10% right now. So, the TIA thing has really spurred us on, and it's, hey, I'm telling you, the teachers are unbelievable this year, unbelievable. We had a big UIL academic meet. We train all semester for that, and then we finally had our meet on November the 17th. Wylie's Junior High won 19 of the events. I think the West, where are you, Aaron? They edged us out a little bit. They had a few more, they won a few more events than we did, but it was a really good battle. And Brownwood was with us as well. We had our whole school spelling bee a couple weeks ago, and we had a 6th grader named Tyler Book that won it. And I'm always excited when a 6th grader wins and to see if they can retain that title. So that's pretty cool. Our behavior coach, his name is Cliff Wilkie. He is also a certified art teacher.
Yep.
And this year he has one period of art, and it's with our functional academic students. And we asked him kind of late summer if he would consider doing that. And it has turned into one of the most amazing classes that we have on our campus. And I put some projects that they've worked on, some famous portraits, some famous paintings that they're doing. And the girl with the pearl earring, it actually hangs. We call it bulldog with a pearl earring because it looks exactly like, do y'all know the painting I'm talking about? It looks exactly like it, but instead of the woman's face, it's a bulldog. It's pretty fabulous. But the class that worked on that, the sunflowers hang at the end of one of our hallways, and the creation of Adam, the Michelangelo, the famous, God's hand, man's hand. It's a bulldog paw in God's hand, so it's pretty fabulous. That's a work in progress. So our art teacher, Tina Jones, has been inspired by seeing all the functional academic art, and our big art walk in April, she's working on the theme, but I think it's going to be based on these famous pieces of art. So I think that's super exciting. Our attendance is on there. You can see that. We had a big Veterans Day celebration on November the 11th. We had about 60 veterans on our campus. It's the best one we've ever done. It was fabulous. So kudos to all those folks who showed up. We do have a band concert. It's going on right now, and as soon as I'm finished telling y'all about all this, I'm about to run out the door because I don't want to miss it. Hey, our band concert that happens in December, and we've got a choir concert next Tuesday. I count on those two things to go ahead and push me all the way into the Christmas spirit. I'm not there yet, so I need to get there so I can make it there. Hey, One Act Plays performed in November as well. We not only had one Act play, we had 2 One Act plays at Wylie Junior High because there were so many kids that wanted to do it. Pride and Prejudice and The Force of the Night were our 2 One Act plays. We had multiple all-star cast members. Charlie Davis earned the Outstanding Performer for her performance in one of the One Acts. Hey, and after the contest ended, the Friday night that all that happened, well, they didn't happen on Friday, but that Friday night, the understudies in both of these One Act plays performed the plays at Wylie's Junior High. So we had the 2 main plays, and then all of the understudies who learned all the roles but didn't get to be in the play, they got to perform the play as well. So I thought that was pretty cool. I did not know the Unified Bulldogs from the high school were going to be here, and I'm sharing this with y'all. We are about to have our first Wylie's Junior High, Wylie West Junior High Unified Bulldog event. Our lead kids are our regular ed students, and they're pairing up with our special ed athletes. And we're having a big bocce ball tournament next Wednesday morning at the East Campus. Wes is coming over. That's where you heard
That's
bocce
what I
ball.
said, bocce ball.
And they've been practicing and getting ready. It's an indoor set, so we're going to do it in our main gym. And we're gonna have a big kids party when it's over. So big bocce ball tournament happening next Wednesday.
So with that said, that has spread to the junior high,
It is
and that's a
spread.
separate situation. Yeah.
This is the first year that we've done Unified Bulldogs.
Yeah. And we've got shirts, and everybody's excited. And in the spring, we're gonna have a robotics contest. They're working on some robots in our functional academics class. So pretty awesome. Like I said, our lead kids are involved with Unified Bulldogs. They're also knee deep in mentoring some 6th grade students, and they have been I think they go once every other week. They go to that functional academic art class with Mr. Wilkie, and they help with with our special artists in that classroom, which is pretty cool. We had the biggest fundraiser we've ever had at Wylie's Junior High, and the students who sold the most had their big reward field trip to Prime Time that happened last Thursday. Basketball teams are off to quick starts, like you see the records there. Our girls, I don't have the final for 8th grade A. I was there before I came here. We're playing right now, the girls are. And we're about to go 3-1 against San Angelo Lone Star tonight. So kudos to basketball. We had a big 8A boys basketball tournament on our campus Saturday. The 8A girls are, I think, on Mr. Amonet's campus this coming weekend. We have completed our thankfulness chain. I told you all kind of about that. And it stretches from one end of our academic hall all the way to the other end. So we're walking under a lot of thankfulness over these last couple of weeks of school. We continue doing our For the Brand. On Wednesday morning, we'll have a staff meeting, and our fourth teacher will be recognized as our For the Brand Teacher of the Month. Our Acts of Kindness Club is up to 166 acts of kindness that have been recognized. The Good Stuff postcards, just under 300 as of today, 299 of those have been sent out. Hey, a big thank you from me and our entire staff for the stipend that's on the way. Hey, that's not an amount of money that's gonna change our lives, but man, that's an amount of money that makes a lot of people feel appreciated. And so thank you all very much for doing that. Yes. All right. Thanks for letting us do what we do. I'm not gonna tell the story that Darren Hughes and I were talking about before this started, but let me just say this about Wylie. Darren was in my class around 1999. He was my student, and I was a teacher way back when. And it's just kind of cool to, it's just great to be part of this. And as we told these stories, and Miss Christian was laughing in between us, and she was like, tell them, and I'm not, but just the bonds that Bulldogs share and that Wylie people share, hey, this place is unlike any other place. That was more than a quarter of a century ago. And we're laughing about things that happened. And I'm not saying but we were laughing about things that happened in my classroom. Way back. Oh yeah, my hair was brown and I was much better. But it's just, it's awesome to be part of this. And thank you all for doing what you do for our district. It is a great place for kids. It's a great place for kids. And it's a great place for all of us. So thank you. I'm gonna go, thank you.
Thank you,
Have
Rob.
fun.
Before we go with the next person, I just would be
Oh, man,
remiss.
here we go.
Today is Mike Thompson's 42nd birthday. And so his wife brought the Dirty Dough cookies.
Yes.
And,
Oh, man.
so that is from them, and I think the Miller brought the buntini.
Merry Christmas. No.
The butts. Oh, you want to say, here we go. Happy
Lots of
birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Mike. Happy birthday to you.
Summer birthdays are the best birthdays.
Yeah, they are.
That's next week. Singing.
Okay. Right. Hate that we missed it, Eric.
Yeah.
We'll schedule our board meeting next year on it.
We get out the day out of my birthday.
Oh,
So there you go.
okay.
Merry Christmas. Wylie West Junior High, since the last I talked to you, we've actually grown a little bit. We're back up in the 1,033 range. At the beginning of the year, we were there, we dropped down, but we're back up. Overall attendance is 96%. I was gonna talk about our lead class as well. They do a lot of great things on our campus, students working with our FA students, CIS students. They work with fifth grade students, mentors, to help with different projects around the Wylie West Junior High. And they are going to attend with our Unified Bulldogs on December 17th. And it's hosted at the East Junior High, and we're gonna go over there, hopefully. I don't know if we're getting medals or what, but we'll come back to some word or something. I was going to, I'll do it without him being here, but I'm gonna challenge Mr. Goodenough to watch a ball. So we'll be doing that next Wednesday. So excited about that. Speech class, we did job interviews. We had 140 students in our 8th grade speech class. That actually, we had 26 community members and teachers come in on our campus and do interviews. A lot of you on our board came in and did that. And it gave our students a real world experience to go through an interview. So thank you for those that did that. And I think it was a great thing that Coach Eastman put together for our campus and for our students in that class.
It was impressive. They were.
Hired a lot of people. I hired a lot of
You
people.
hired a lot of people.
Yeah. They were good. They were really good.
That's good. Mr. Stanton's like, that him and that kid, I don't know about that. All right,
I had to change, yeah, my perspective, that's for sure.
let's see where we're at. CIS, we are doing a lot of things and a lot of help on our campus, but the next big thing coming up, and it's actually be hosted at Mr. Boone's campus on December, which is this Saturday, is Blessed Bulldog. It'll be from 8 to 12. We have a lot of families that go through that. They've set it up last year. It was really awesome. It's more, before they would purchase gifts and wrap them and give them to the family. Now it's all these items are set out and basically the family comes through and shops for what they need for their families. And so it's a really great thing. And thank you, Mr. Boone, for opening up your doors for us.
I
On
think
Saturday.
some of our other staff members after that, I think we're gonna have some custodial staff and throughout the district and other staff members an opportunity to come in after.
And that's correct, yes, sir. That's a good thing that CIS does, and also our center that. Bulldog Protection Group, they are gonna open it up for our custodians to come in and pick up things for their families. Brand Bulldog Dyslexia Club, that's a club that Ms. Cochran started a few years ago. And each year they go and read, and around this time, they'll go and read Christmas books. They're gonna go to the Pup Academy in West Elementary, so thanks for opening your doors. We're gonna do that tomorrow. Lead students go along and help with that as well. Jumping down, we are also doing the middle year testing. That's coming up for us as well. So I won't go into that, Rob already talked about it. UIL meet, I didn't break it down by winning the meet, but we had 234 participants and 160 students. This is grades 5 through 8, 234 participants, 160 of our students placed in the top 6. And so it breaks it down there, who will, how many first places, so on and so forth, but I'm not gonna go through with that, so I already see that. Spelling bee, we're gonna start that in January, and then our actual bee will be, the school bee will be the 28th, and the regional bee will be on the 26th, which is usually, used to be hosted, all right, Susan, I can't remember if it was last year or not. And the 36 weeks is coming up soon. We do have a lot of things going on, extracurricular band concert. We have tomorrow at the PAC at 7 p.m. 7th grade choir concert we're hosting at in our cafeteria at 1:30 on Friday. 7th and 8th grade choir concert is next week on December 16th, 6 to 7 p.m. at the PAC. We are currently working on our spring musical theater production of Annie Jr., which will be in February. Football, volleyball, cross country, fall tennis, all wrapped up the end of October, beginning of November. Basketball season's tipped off right at the beginning of November. We actually won all 4 or all 8 of our games. Boys and girls won tonight versus Clack. And then our last game actually was originally for this month was moved from the 15th to the 17th, and then we'll start back in the season in January. And our 8th grade A boys won the East tournament this past Saturday that Rob talked about, so they did a great job there. We also did host the Veterans Breakfast. We had over 200, we had a lot, probably the biggest one ever. And I cooked breakfast. Cameron comes and helps with that. I have some other people that help me cook breakfast for that. And it's a great thing. Miss Nelson is in charge of our S2S, and she organizes those things. So thank you to her and our S2S students for all that they do.
Is that a breakfast to order? Do we come in and just place an order?
I mean, it's pretty legit breakfast.
Thank you, Ken. You know what I cook, Mr. Ladd?
I know you do it right.
That's what I gotta do. Powder Puff was a big success again this year. It was our second annual. We had somebody up there in the press box making some dad jokes and comments. It was funny. There was a few 6, 7 comments and different things. So Mr. Cameron Wylie's good on the mic there. Our one-act play did really well. As in November, it was Radium Girls, and so they did an awesome job there. And then our 8th grade girl and boy of the month are listed there. November was Audrey Meyer, the Blood Hughes, and in December was Jacqueline Lucia and Tripp Callahan. I feel like I'm forgetting some things. That's everything. Have any questions? Appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Okay. Wylie High School, our enrollment has dropped, I think it's 1582 last time, so by 4, and we're like y'all, we get some and then we lose some, and we get some and lose some back and forth. Swim is in the thick of their season. They recently won the AIST dual meet. They'll compete in districts whenever we get back from Christmas in January. Basketball is well underway. Last I looked, our girls are still ranked number 10. Both tournaments that they've gone and played at, they've won every game. I guess in 2025, you do round robins. I want champions and losers. So in my book, they're champions because they won all the games, but they're looking really good. And then our Bulldog season is rolling. Whenever I wrote this, they were 3-3, and they had a good tournament also. They both were in Granbury over this past weekend. District play opens for the girls on January 9th and the boys on the 20th. The girls will be at home tomorrow night, and then the boys are at home Friday and Saturday with the Cat Claw tournament as well. As you know, volleyball did awesome. They finished their season as area champions, losing to the state runner-up. And so if you're gonna lose, it might as well be to the someone that played for the state championship. And so they're a lot of fun to watch. And then tennis took another trip to the state tournament and finishes the state semifinalist. Marching band finished their marching season and are in the number 7 spot, missing state by 3 places. And their Christmas concert is Thursday. Yes, Thursday is their Christmas concert. The week after competition, Mr. McDonald was in my office starting throwing ideas around of what you need to do to get to state. Because it's the 3rd year in a row that we have finished 7th, missing state by 3. So he's excited to get the ball rolling again on that. They're a lot of fun to watch. Theater Arts has had several really great productions. This semester, most recently, this past weekend was Little Women, a full-blown musical. When I was doing the announcements this week, I was reading them and I was like, and I mean, they even called it like another musical, and it was incredible. Newsies was incredible. Newsies is the big musical where they had over 65 in the cast. Little Women was a smaller cast, but just as powerful.
It was good.
And good it was. Mr. Shoemake told me that they actually submitted Little Women for some awards, and so there were judges there Saturday and Sunday watching, and again, just amazing. And so they're getting ready. I had to approve their script for One Act Play today, and so auditions are tomorrow for One Act Play, and then they roll right into that. The choir is in the middle of their holiday concert. They're all over town performing for the holidays. We have 4 students that have moved on to the area contest for the all-state choir, and so they will compete or try out for all-state choir. Usually that's around the first day we come back in January that they're going, usually to Midland, Odessa to do that. And then their choir concert is this Friday evening in the PAC. UIL Academics, they're really rolling now, getting going. They have competed at 2 Texas Tech meets, and at those we've had scholarship winners there. We have earned sweepstakes awards and all the normal things that our academic kiddos do, but most recently, they competed in a virtual challenge meet, and our UIL team earned 2nd out of 140 teams. They were 1st in 5A. At the Texas Tech Fall Fandango, the calculator team earned 2nd, the Lit Crit team earned 1st, current events 1st, social studies 1st, spelling team 1st. And along with those, of course, are individual medals and, like I said, scholarships also. So that's really cool. Mr. Dow, I know he was at the junior high UIL meet trying to not really poach, but start getting some of those kiddos to want to stay in UIL academics as they move into high school. We had a visitor from TEA last week, from TEA for CTE. The CTE state coordinator was at the high school, and so Ms. Fetchy gave her a tour. They actually got to go into the new ag building and look around that, and then visit several classrooms just to see what was going on at Wylie High School. Jason Reeves, who was our former CT director who works for Region 14 now, he was there also, and he followed up just saying how impressed she was with what we're doing, and without a true CTE facility and being a really academic school, but also having a robust CTE program, she was impressed with that as well. Something new and cool that I'm excited about is AQR's Advanced Quantitative Reasoning, and that is a senior level math course. And so we have entertained an opportunity for McMurray for those students to get dual credit, math dual credit. That will help significantly with CCMR, where they're getting those 3 hours of math. I was presented with this at a summer workshop this summer, and it happened to be McMurray that was doing it, and so that's a new partnership for us. And McMurray has just really worked hard to keep kids local and to get kids enrolled, you know, from Abilene schools. And so there's a ton of perks and incentives. This is guaranteed enrollment and $1,000 scholarship for any kid that completes any sort of dual credit. And then again, for us, it helps us with CCMR. And so they'll all be taking that course this spring. The new industry-based certificate list was released this fall, and it's ever changing. But they promised not to change it for 5 years this time. We'll see. And the updated program of study framework, and so Ms. Fetchy is working tirelessly trying to get that updated for our counselors and teachers. I'm meeting with counselors later this week about courses for next year to try and get all that ready to go whenever we come back from Christmas break. You heard from our Unified Bulldogs again. We couldn't be more proud of that group. Just the confidence that it has bred not only in our students with disabilities, but also the leadership skills and the partners. You'll see we really try and set, you know, we have PALs, we try not to have overlap because we have a ton of wonderful kids that need to be in leadership roles. And so those that aren't in PALs, they can join Unified, and from freshman year, they can join Unified Bulldogs, and then they keep those partnerships throughout high school. So that's just a really awesome program. The Purple Dog Company hosted the Bulldog Christmas Market last Thursday. Again, it kicked off the Christmas season and was so festive, and they did a great job with that. We are holding our 3rd annual sock drive, where all those socks are donated to Love and Care Ministries to help our homeless population, and so that's going on right now. The winning classes, the top 3 classes, will have a hot chocolate bar, and so that will run through Thursday. We continue to do our safety drills. We passed our TEA intruder audit that happened 2 weeks ago, and so we made a 100 on that. Miss Stephanie Hood was voted as our teacher of the second 6 weeks. She teaches honors biology and serves as our science department head, and she is a great role model for all of our teachers. I wanted to touch on just the observations that we're doing with teachers, not just TIA, but how I've talked a lot about how TIA has pushed us. I can speak for me, has pushed me to be a better administrator, to have more meaningful and intentional conversations. Of course, TIA plays a role in that, but just today I was having a post-conference with a teacher, and the teacher came from another district, and she said, I've never had anyone walk through what this looks like. Because when you really look at the rubric, it really is solid, good teaching, and what y'all as parents and as board members expect to be happening in the classrooms. And now we just have a tool, and we're utilizing the tool in the way it's supposed to be to have those conversations and to coach our teachers. And so that's what I reiterated to her, like, this has made us so much better at what we're doing to help our teachers be better and feel more confident about what they're doing, but also allow them to try new things, to not just settle for the status quo of teaching because this is what has always worked, but to really go out there and take some risk, because we've got really good kids and they can handle the risk of trying something new within the classrooms. And so the conversations that I've had with teachers have just been really meaningful. I think for them, from what they tell me, but also for me as a leader on our campus, and I think for all of my assistant principals as well. So that overall is good. I think we're getting to a smoother place with TIA, and just with observations in general. I think all of us are about 80% finished also. So coming up again, band concert Thursday, choir concert Friday, soccer games begin on December 19th. Semester finals are next week, beginning on Tuesday. UIL state cheer competition is on January 16th. District swim is on the 24th. And then as soon as we come back from Christmas, softball, baseball, powerlifting, track and field all begin. And we'll finalize our course offerings for January and begin our class meetings then. At the bottom, you just see a list. I just thought it was a good reminder of all the things that we have for our kiddos to get involved in. And that list grows every single year. Sometimes that's derived from y'all, you know, from something that you see that you think Wylie High School needs. Sometimes it's from students, and I tell them, find a sponsor and let's make it happen. And sometimes it's from teachers that just get to be in their bonnet and want to do something really great for kids. So with that, thank y'all for what y'all do. Thank you for the stipend. It is wonderful and great and makes us feel appreciated and have a good Christmas.
Thank you.
Mr. Vaughn, I bought marshmallow shooter
Yes.
We've got marshmallow shooting.
and they talked me into two and they gave me a package deal with a birdhouse. So they said two marshmallow shooters and a birdhouse for $25. I'm like, deal.
I think we trouble with mine at home. Actually, I heard the seller of that said all the high school kids were doing great. The only problem they had was Mr. Vaughn. He was misbehaving with the marshmallow shooter.
You know, I know I say this every year, but I just want to thank y'all for how much y'all put into the Veterans Day stuff. I don't think y'all quite realize, I mean, I still have a lot of connections at Dias and especially this year with when that went down with the shutdown and everything, I can't tell you how much they appreciate it. I mean, Bacon had a darn flyover for goodness sake, and but y'all just go above and beyond. I think it is noticed and it is very much appreciated from our veteran family. So I appreciate y'all.
Great. Thank you for mentioning that.
Okay, on project.
Okay, so, you have at your place some pictures, some, financial, updates. So on the first page, the VOAG facility, you kind of see the activities that are going on. You look on the right side of this table, a cost summary, you see that we've spent roughly 6 out of the $10 million. So that gives you a 60% completion. I was up there the other day and things are really taking shape. So I talked to the job superintendent, the site superintendent there, and he really feels like we're still looking at February, but he's feeling like we're moving to an earlier time, maybe the first week of February he just doesn't want to get out over his skis on that, but I'm pretty excited. It is really a nice building, nice facility.
I haven't asked them, but do they work out the overhead deal?
So yes, and that piece may not be completed by that date, but you don't have to have that to be occupied. So it will be done and it's gonna be done right. So they've got all the lighting, the heaters hung, so things are coming along well there. They had the cabinets installed. It just really taken shape. On the next page, you have the new elementary campus. It's 44% complete. Of course, it's a lot bigger facility, but drywall is the mission of the day, and I think they finished by now their roofing. Just the bottom left-hand picture, what you see there is that Duralast. And if you'll remember, this was bid before we started the process of learning some of the issues we had with the, they call it TPO, Nathan, what's that? TPO, type of a roof versus a tar and gravel type of a roof. And so we were too far along to change that one, but all the other new ones will have the tar and gravel type roof, so. Then on the next page, you have the high school. You can see, of course, it's just moving dirt right now, but they have made substantial progress with that. And today we got the permit for the East Intermediate to start. So they're starting to show up out there. I've talked to Mr. Bacon. They've talked about where to put the fencing, the security fencing there, as far as keeping the kids out of the construction site. There's a lot of things happening, and we want to be sure we have a safe environment for the students. Just a couple other things. The parking lot at the West Junior High tennis courts has been completed. It's a concrete parking lot, and it is really nice. And I don't know, we will be starting to use that pretty soon. They had to get a few things out of the way. The parking lot at the tennis courts is paved. mostly striped. They had a few more stripings but they're about through with that one. We were scheduled, to get the shading for baseball and softball December 15th. We got a phone call this morning. It's gonna be delivered Friday. So that's moving along in that. We have all of the posts for the shading at the high school tennis courts installed, so we're on the short end of that stick. The junior high also, they finished the track surface, the runways, the roofing. We've got metal trim going on the roofs at the high school and the West Junior High. We're getting ready to start. In the field house, we put in some shelving to increase their ability to store helmets and shoulder pads and uniforms, and that has really gone well and really quickly. I think they probably finished today with that. So part of that is getting everything off the floor so we can come back in and put in the new flooring. It's really exciting to see. That is can't remember what the name of that floor is. They saw the sample of it. Anyway, it's like flake look, it is really sharp looking. They're gonna do that whole building. Let's see, what else?
So they're gonna do that over Christmas.
Don't do it over Christmas.
We'll be done. Get that.
The softball and baseball bullpens should be turfed. Mike,
They'll be here Thursday to start.
Thursday to start, and that shouldn't take long.
It's not long, because all the foundation's all done, fencing's all done, waiting on them.
So that's pretty exciting. Things are really taking shape in that area. Any questions y'all may have on?
When are the scoreboards supposed to?
They are
good
coming,
question.
they are now coming on January 3rd. They'll have them in well before the 17th, which is, we don't play any games out there for a while, but
Yeah.
I gave them a target date of 17th, and that's not a problem. They got a contractor, I think he's out of San Antonio. All the local ones no one could take the business, so anyway, that actually will start. And really, in hindsight, it's better to start it then. We were gonna start it on like 19th, and I was thinking about Christmas break, and they were gonna come and work and take off and leave for Christmas and come back. And I don't usually like them to leave once I get them, so we've actually got to push back, so that'll be coming.
Sweet.
I appreciate Coach Fetchy on the work he's done with those scoreboards. He and Mr. Penny as well. But Mike's been working with the contractors on all that's going on over there, baseball and softball. The last piece of that will be getting that shading. It'll all come into play about the same time. It's gonna come together. It'll be nice, a nice addition for this. Yeah. Anyway.
Awesome. Thank you.
That's all I've got.
Okay. All right, material.
Okay, so Desiree has the envelope with.
Favorite part of the year.
Yeah, just remember, be nice. But there's two things in there. There's the evaluation form and there's the information we give you about our performance, academics and all those things. Thanks again to Holly Cooper for helping me put that together. And then I think Miller is shooting for some dates for you to get that back to her.
September 29th. And remember, don't mail them. I have the community mailboxes. December 29th.
Okay. Yeah.
I have the community mailboxes and my mail's sketchy getting to me. So
just check back.
Yeah, either drop it off at my house or I'll come get it.
Perfect.
So one of the two, and then they'll give me time to get it all together and give it to Desiree.
They're not penalized if they get through early, are they?
No, you can get to me earlier. You're more than welcome to. Yes. Go for it. You gonna get to me tomorrow?
I'm gonna need some time for this one.
So. Okay.
Okay.
Board workshop?
Yeah, the board, okay, so on the board workshop, that's our yearly workshop in February, about halfway in between the February board meeting and the March board meeting. Remember, March, we move up to the first Monday because of spring break. And I've got either the seventeenth or the 19th of February. I think we prefer the 19th, if that works for y'all. There's nothing set in stone about either of those dates, so we can be flexible.
So Thursday, the 19th?
That's what I would say, unless y'all say you can't do that. But that, remember, we start about noon, we go till about 5. So we'll try to bring a lot of information about everything that's going on, anything we're looking to the future on, so. You can't do either one of those.
I can do that. I can't do the Thursday.
Okay, can you do the 17th?
I'm checking the date. I'm sorry. I think I
That was
think
like
we have a
a
volleyball
lot.
tournament. Well, because I was like, I have something that, and I think we're leaving for a volleyball tournament on the
Okay.
19th. Hang on, I'm finding it.
Tuesday would be better for me too, but I can make either one work.
Yeah, no, we'll
Are you
leave
Megan?
for New Orleans. Yes.
Anybody else
Sorry,
have a
guys.
problem with Tuesdays?
I know.
Okay, we'll go Tuesday, the 17th. Very good. Cool. Okay.
Hey, sorry. Yes, I was writing that down. Okay, and our accountability.
Okay, so we have Darren Hughes here, who I didn't know was reliving the past with Mr. Good Enough earlier.
It's fine, happy to do. But I'm proud it did. I truly am glad to still be a Wylie Bulldog. I moved to Wylie in the 5th grade. And so I've been here a long time, and it is a great place to be, and I'm proud to serve our students and our community. And so it's good to see you all tonight, and let's disaggregate some data.
Be gentle with us.
We could really get deep into this information, and I'm excited about it because it's great data for our district. We're doing really good things. So page 38 in your board report is where that information begins. I'm gonna hit the high points of this. And then, of course, if you have any questions later on, let me know. But this is called Results Driven Accountability System. And this is just basically a system to assess the effectiveness of our educational programs within our district, and if those programs are producing positive outcomes for our students. The reason I think this is such exciting data is because of all the things that you just heard, all of the amazing things that your boots on the ground people are doing every day are helping us to get these excellent numbers here. So I wrote down that our district is instilling a culture of high expectations, involvement, and compassion. And I absolutely believe that those things are affecting these numbers. A lot of things are affecting these numbers, but it's those attitudes that are giving us these great results. So RDA framework is analyzing 3 program areas. I'm primarily representing special education in that, and I'm really going to talk about that. The other 2 program areas that you can see on page 38 are representing some subgroups. Bilingual education students, English as a second language, and emergent bilingual students, and then other special populations, which are students in foster care, students who might be experiencing homelessness, and then our military connected students. And so I'm going to jump to the special education portion of the data, which is on page 46 of your packet. I'll reference those other areas too as well, but really going to talk about the special education portion of it. Across the special education portion, we are assessed over 3 domains, and then 15 indicators are analyzed. So you can see kind of in that right-hand column, you see there's performance level indicators. The performance level of a 0 is the best rating you can receive. Performance level of a 4 is the worst rating you can receive. We had an amazingly strong performance for the 24-25 school year. The majority of all categories assessed had a performance level of 0. We only had 4 performance level indicators of a 1. And those were in particular areas, and you can see some of those on that right-hand column of that first page, there 46. Those areas were in 3 through 8 math star, algebra 1 star, English 1 and 2 star passing rates. And then special education total disciplinary removal rate received a PL of 1. PL of 1 is not extremely concerning, but what that rating does is it lets our leadership know that these are some areas that maybe we can look at our programming and see if we can produce better, more positive results for students? Can we tweak our programs a little bit and maybe improve what is already an excellent level of rating? So we're doing really well in those areas. I want to look at page 51 of your board packet. This is kind of an overall summary, so I'm jumping through it. You want me to slow down? Glad to do that. 51 is an overall summary of all of these elements. And so, of course, we assessed the 15 indicators. We did really well in those areas, but then we also are required to look at what are called federally required elements. And those are specific state performance plan indicators in special education. We are particularly looking at performance plan indicators 11, 12, and 13. If we do not meet compliance in those areas, we need to complete a corrective action plan. We did very well in those areas, meeting 100% compliance, receiving a performance level of 0. Remember, 0 is good, 0 is the best. Those particular areas are regarding the timely evaluation of special education referrals, so suspected disability, we've got to do that within a specific timeline. And then we have to come back and meet on those evaluations and do that in a specific timeline. The other area that those performance plan indicators are looking at are, do those plans for kiddos 14 and older have post-secondary goals, transition services, and then also transition services. Help me, Ms. Berry. And the student needs to be involved in that meeting if at all possible, if it's appropriate. Again, 100% compliance in all of those areas.
Transition services.
Transition services are really different depending upon the student. Some students need a lot of help making connections after high school to whatever they want to do or accomplish. So we might connect them with agencies in the area like Texas Workforce Solutions, disability services in the area. If they don't need a lot of assistance, maybe it's just getting them connected with the right post-secondary education they want to choose. Some of our students are going right into the workforce. We have a lot of students in connection with trade through Cisco. So there's a lot of different opportunities, but our diagnosticians work in conjunction with our high school team, and we all try to put those things together. So our high school programs are really great, and they're continuing to grow, and they're fostering all of those connections as kiddos move on. So we document those transition services in their special education plans. So that's what that looks like. You bet. Last year for the 24-25 school year, I want to brag on the people behind the scenes a little bit that help us meet compliance in those indicator areas. We completed 285 special education evaluations within our legal timeline. Then we had 285 meetings within the legal timeline. We got all of those things done. We provided transition services in conjunction with our secondary teams for 300 plus students last year to help them make those connections. And so I'm really proud of our diagnosticians, speech therapists, licensed professional counselors, school psychologists, and our secondary teams, which does include our junior highs. We begin that transition planning at an early age. We're doing great things for kids here at Wylie, so kudos to them, and I appreciate them. All of that data is compiled, and then we receive an overall determination level rating. So that's kind of at the bottom of that report. We're looking for a determination level of a 1, which is the best rating we can get. And all 3 of our program areas received a DL1. So that's all 3 of those areas, including special education. So again, we're doing really great things for students and families at Wylie, and our data is showing it, and that's exciting to me. So short and sweet. If you have questions or want to dig in deeper.
It's awesome. I've had a lot of positive feedback from the community that does have SPED kids in the district and how amazing the schools have been.
I hope so, and that's all credit to our principals, our teachers, every person on that campus is contributing to the success of all students.
Yeah.
Those populations.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Let me also just brag about Darren and Shawnee Vaughn and that whole crew. About, Mr. Vaughn, help me with these numbers. About 6 or 7 years ago, we had about 250 kids in special ed.
Shawnee said when she started is like 279, I believe,
279, which was in 2010
10 years ago.
years ago. Okay. So, and now we have over 900.
938.
Wow. To be exact, 930.
And there's more in process.
But I'm just, we have, and it's been a pretty big acceleration in the last 3 years, I think.
Yes.
And so the services that they're having to provide are just, it's really taxing on our group, and we've tried to stay caught up on the number of folks that we have to deliver those services. That's a challenge in some areas that are hard to find people. And so, again, kudos to what Darren has done just recently, and Miss Vaughn has done for many years. Staffing wise, Mr. Vaughn is a constant chase. And so, thank y'all for everything you're doing. And, you know, if you remember, it wasn't too many years ago, we were just really beating the bushes for special ed teachers. And I think we are, it's never over, but I think we're in a pretty good, better place now than we've ever been. So thank y'all for all of that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Guess we're ready to move to executive session.
Thank
We
y'all.
take a-
Coach
Awesome.
Sanchi, you
Yeah,
wanna
for sure.
hang around for just a little bit?
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank you.
Oh, man.
Happy holidays. 42.
But we will.
People so young.
Somebody.
I'm only 43. I look at y'all, they're my age. You're 10 years older.
Oh, yes.